Peace and love, family. Peace and love, family. How are you? Is it anybody in the building? Check 1 2, check 1 2. Anybody in the building? Welcome to another edition of Morse World TV. I am your host, Brother Tariq Bay, and today we'll be discussing Mr. Nasheed's Foundational Black Americans was used and abused and thrown away. Yes, today we will have a discussion on how the internet group called the Foundational Black Americans came and went like Santa Claus, who never existed. That's a good one. That's a good one. Peace and love, family. Think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. The Foundational Black Americans, they came and went like Santa Claus. They never existed. Think about that. That's pretty witty. I'm pretty witty. Yeah. And if Freaky Ricky ain't careful, they gonna do you like they did Big U. Anybody keeping up with the story about Big U? Big U just got indicted for an unlived charge. Man. That's a long journey that brother going on. Man, listen, and you over 50 years old and you get locked up for something like that, man. It's a death sentence. I'm tired. It's over. Yeah, you over 50 years old and you get hemmed up for something like that. It's definitely a death sentence, man. You messing with these nonprofits and you doing all this nonprofit changing of hands and the bread and all that. Oh yeah, it's gonna be a problem. It's definitely gonna be a problem, family. Where is the FBAs? Anybody seen the FBAs? I'm kind of confused. I ain't gonna front. I'm kind of confused. Have anybody seen any FBAs? What they've been talking about? Exposing hidden frauds. I know you be up on that stuff. What they talking about lately? I can't listen. I've been working hard. I've been super busy, but I do try to stroll through social media, and I don't see them as rowdy as they used to be, unless on Twitter, maybe, because Twitter always have a space of 20 people talking crazy. But what happened to the FBA, family? There my bro is. Thurman Smart. I'm trying to figure out what happened to the FBA. I mean, they trying to hide behind Freedmen and Black American, like ashamed to say FBA like they used to. Yeah, that is something, because let me say this, that FBA was put on a mission to follow Trump, to push Trump into office. And whether they were impactful or not, I don't think they were impactful. It's not enough people that subscribe to the FBA buffoonery. But there is some what they would call black Trumpers that helped out. There is what they would call black Republicans that helped out, but they got Trump in office now. Y'all been paying attention what Trump been doing. Trump a mean machine, boy. Trump the real deal. I'ma tell you, he the real deal, man. Oh my goodness. Trump like a child in KB toy store. He just messing with everything. Y'all know about KB toy store, Toys R Us? Lock a child in Toys R Us overnight. Man, all the toys gonna be broke up. They gonna be taking the toys apart, running the trucks all up and down the aisles, rolling them off the calendar, the counter. I got to get back into when I open up the show and start to enunciate my words properly. The counter. I said the calendar. Yeah, but I'm gonna tell you, family, the sad thing is this: the most despicable thing is that they were taking advantage of. You know what I mean? I heard he was considering reparations for the January 6th. Yeah, he already said that Europeans deserve reparations. Trump had already mentioned European reparations. He already said that. He said he's going to get the death penalty for anyone selling drugs. There you go. And we know that the myth is that we are the drug dealers. So he said that Trump says he's going to give the death penalty for anyone selling drugs. And we are plastered in front of the screen as drug dealers when in fact we are just the ones that get caught because we don't change the game up. You know what I mean? People get out of jail from 15 years and then try to hustle the same way that they did before they went in. You know they got drones, right? You know it's cameras on every corner, right? You do know that little thing that looks like a stick in the ground is really a camera. You do know that, right? like how you go to jail for 5 or 10 years and then try to do something the same way? Like, yeah, unfortunately, you might need to be in jail for being dumb. You should be in jail just for being dumb. I mean, if there's a charge for going to jail for being dumb, you need to be charged. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna tell you another thing that they're doing is they're cracking down on these nonprofits. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're cracking down on these nonprofits. So Melanated Nation, and all these people that have been like, you can't take it back. You can't take it back once you have went left on what you supposed to have been doing with your nonprofit. You know what I'm saying? You can't take it back. You know what I mean? That's right. So all of these Bentleys, all of these look at this is my look at my countertop. This is mine. Okay. This is Moroccan marble. Okay. Okay. Okay, Moroccan marble. Okay. That's right. Are those some new Gucci shades? Okay. They take them too. I'm just saying, man, at the end of the day, it's all fun and games. Family, later this week, I'm going to give you an update on my what's the name of that thing I got? I just opened it up. Just opened the page up. Let me see if I can find the name of it. I don't even know the name of it. Oh, Patreon. That's what it is. On Patreon, family. On Patreon, I will be giving everyone updates about. Thank you, my brother David Smart. I said David Smart. There's two people. Thank you for the Cash App. But I will be highlighting my Patreon, family. On the Patreon, I'll be giving you an update. I'm just giving you my monologue right now. On my Patreon, I'll be giving you the update about the Tariq Nasheed case. Family, this case will not stop taking the turns. It keep taking the turns, family. It keep taking the turns. So if I can give you a brief update now, this case has been going on for almost going on 2.5 years. It's the case where, I had no choice but to try to preserve my name. People still calling me a registered ex-offender to this day. I mean, and so I had no choice but to try to preserve my name by going at it from a legal perspective. You know what I mean? So I had to do what I had to do. You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's like a cat and mouse right now. In other words, the defendant continues to try to put things into place to delay the inevitable. You understand what I'm saying? He's trying to delay the inevitable. And I want to show you the updates. Now, you can't delay the inevitable by so long. You know what I'm saying? When the storm is here, the storm is here. It is what it is. But every time I turn around, I got to respond to a motion that, and you know, when you got to respond to a motion, it takes time, it takes money, it takes whatever. But you know what I mean? When you got to respond to a motion, if someone put in an emergency motion, and you want to respond, if you don't have an attorney on deck, if you don't have a legal expert on deck to respond, it can cost money. Fortunately, I've learned things along the way. I got some help. You know what I'm saying, and it doesn't cost as much as it would cost, but nevertheless. This is crazy, family. And let me see if I can find the Patreon page. And so I'm using the Patreon page for the membership page for those who wish to support the Patreon. Let me see if I can find it right quick. Go on, subscribe. Morsh World TV. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Oh, there you go. Morse World TV exclusive. Yeah, this is it right here. So I think this is it right here. I want to view as, there we go. So right now they got a bunch of more stuff on there, but I'm going to be going live over here with the stuff that only I think the citizens would be interested in. You know what I mean? So that is the Patreon right there. Subscribe to the Patreon. This week I'll be talking about the court case. I'll be giving updates on the court case. I mean, I'm going all the way in and bringing you up to date, up into the last minute. And I'm even going to, and I'm not going to play around at this point. I'm going to actually, because I think I need to document what's happening in this case. It's kind of crazy that some of the things that's some of the delays that has happened and that they're allowing it to go this way. But what can you do? You gotta go with the system that we find ourselves with. So we gotta go with it. But man, this is fascinating. This new attorney that let me just drop it right now. So this is about the sixth attorney that the defendant has dropped and acquired. This is like the sixth. This is the sixth. Let me say, it's possibly the sixth attorney. Listen, I don't have attorney because when I started this case, they wanted such a lump sum of money that I was unable to have that money on hand. I didn't have that money on hand. Now, after I done paid that amount of money, in every way you can imagine, and time and real money and everything, I think I did pretty good. I mean, my money funny, my change strange, my shoes got the blues. But I'm telling you, I don't think I can lose. I just don't think I can lose. And I think that a lot of these attorneys that have been hired and fired, I think they've been saying, listen, go ahead, wrap this up. It don't look good. But you know how our people get. You know how people get. They don't want to wrap it up. They got pride. They got ego. And listen, you only can stretch this out about so long before it's all said and done. And I think many times people think that, okay, I'm going to keep on playing this game because there's no way in the world that he got any more money to go any further. There's no way in the world that he's been fighting this and filing at least responses for the last 2 years. Probably I haven't even count the motions that I had to file, but I guarantee you they are over 20 motions that I had to file. And if you calculate that up at a minimum of 1,500 a motion, emergency motions and everything, you can do the math yourself. But I know without a doubt that I didn't file, and that's just for one case, and I got 2. I mean, and I'm just saying, family, it's very expensive. I didn't even realize, you know what I mean, until I seen some calculations recently. I was like, good goodness gracious. However, with that being said, family, now so every time that the defendant file a motion, he's probably spending $2,500 to $3,000. So if he's spending that type of money, FBA, listen up. If he's spending that type of money, he's expecting me to spend that type of money. You follow what I'm saying? And even if I spend half of that type of money, he, in his mind, he's going to count my pockets and say, there's no way in the world he can keep up. It's impossible for him to keep up. Well, by the will of God and the will of the people and the support of the people, I've been able to keep up. And now it's coming to a close. You know what I'm saying? It's coming to a close, family. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think the judge is going to allow any more of these delays after this recent delay that just happened. And this week I'll be on Patreon talking about giving you updates and if we going in the courtroom and you're on Patreon, you'll be in the courtroom with me. You know what I mean? But we were supposed to go court and have trial in January, and they pulled the fast one. The defendant pulled the fast one in January, and he was able to wiggle out that trial on January 27th. I mean, I go to court again. It's in April already, next week. So if you want to support, hit the Cash App. Thanks for your support. But family, I'm gonna tell you, family, once this is all said and done, I would love to just lay out the full story and really paint the picture of what we went through behind the scenes. I ain't the one to sit up here and brag, this, that, and the third. But I'm gonna tell you, family, this is looking like it's about to wrap. You know what I mean? But with that being said, family, let's get ready to start this show. Peace. I'm gonna grab me some water and we gonna get busy. We want to know about these tangibles. I ain't gonna be here that long because I need to get warmed up. You know how I need to get warmed up, and I ain't doing no long intro songs. But let's take a walk back in memory lane.
I was one of the people who invested in this man's vision for an institution in Los Angeles called Hidden History Museum. I was one of the people who believed that was a good idea, and I still think it's a good idea. And I invested a nice amount of money, not just $50 or $100. I invested more than that. I haven't gotten any updates, you know. When I went to Indiegogo, he has my email address. He has everybody's email address who donated. This was months ago, last year, in the middle of last year, probably later than that or earlier than that. And I haven't received any updates about the status or the progress in acquiring this land and building this museum. And I look at this guy. Every Sunday, he does a live stream in which he collects donations from people. How is this any different than a church? Every Sunday, this preacher get on the stage, does his sermon, and pass around a collection plate. But instead of having a collection plate, you have Cash App, Super Chat, PayPal, whatever. And we look at the progress of, There's nothing wrong with being entertained or listening to a preacher. See what I'm saying? You know, we got preachers like T.D. Jakes, Creflo Dollar. We got the Israelites. You know, people get entertained. They got escapism. You know, but call it what it is. You're a preacher, but you did something that's nefarious. You deceived the people in believing that you're just going to invest the money that they donated to your campaign into a worthy project, Hidden History Museum, and then conveniently you said the property was no longer available in Los Angeles, right? And my thing is, you should build that museum in a place that needs it, that'll benefit from the traffic and from your notoriety, somewhere probably in the South or the Midwest, Mississippi, Louisiana, not Texas. Texas don't really need it. But I would say Louisiana, Alabama, or Mississippi, or Gary. Gary, Indiana is right. It's a city that's a black city. The black mayor has a lot of available land. They just built the casino, the Hard Rock Casino, brand new in Gary, Indiana. There's a lot of vacant land. It's a lot of potential. Plus, it's historically one of the greatest black cities in America, Gary, Indiana. Build it there, and you'll cause more people to at least tour the city. Tourism dollars, it'll help the economy. Plus, you could build it on 5th Avenue and Broadway, historic 5th Avenue and Broadway. And Gary has an airport. This is a city that could be a so-called black metropolis. But if you don't want to do it in Gary, you got Chicago Heights. Don't build it in Chicago because Chicago has too many taxes. It's too gentrified. You know, you ain't gonna really be successful in Chicago like that. Plus, there's too much gang violence and hate. But Chicago Heights is a suburb of Chicago, which is surrounded by a plethora of black suburbs. And you got access to the city because you can jump on 394 or 57 and get straight to Chicago Heights. You know, but it's somewhere that has a lot of potential, just like Gary, Indiana, a lot of vacant land, historically was a black metropolis that has been suffering from gentrification, not gentrification, but the governor has been destroying a lot of property out there, so it's a lot of vacant land. But you shouldn't give up on building this museum. Also, you don't want to deal with the IRS, the feds, and all of that. That's what they got Garvey for. Garvey actually went to prison. He was deported because of mail fraud, because when he sold his stocks for the Black Star Line, even though he did purchase the ships, he had on there a ship that he didn't own, and they said that was misrepresentative, and because he did it through the mail, they said that was mail fraud. So they could say, oh, even though you did say you was trying to acquire the land, you got to cover yourself there, but you did give the idea that it was a possibility. So you don't want to go down like they got Garvey, you see what I'm saying? But you don't want to be seen as a pimp preacher. I think people should stop supporting people with ideas like Nasheed's? No, we should still support people who has ideas, who has vision, because without vision the people perish. But I think this dude should actually take that money and actually make something happen with it and build it in a place that will benefit from the traffic, and plus the so-called black people can take advantage of a city like Gary or anywhere in Mississippi or Louisiana, in which you could actually build something from the ground up. And one of the strongholds of the so-called blacks in America is the South and the Midwest. The East Coast is done. You know, New York is done. Atlanta, I think Atlanta is done too. They all messed up. But potential for actually having ownership and control, you could have that in a place like Gary, Indiana, Chicago Heights, or somewhere in Mississippi or Louisiana. But yeah, I think he is a pimp preacher with his weekly sermons and his collection of the donations and running game and spitting game. I didn't think this until I just thought about it. Like, I donated to this campaign nearly a year ago and I haven't received any updates. It's almost like you ran off with the money. Like in that movie, A Raisin in the Sun. Sidney Poitier's character believed that he was going to purchase get a liquor license opened up a liquor store with his father's inheritance and gave I think about $7,500 to a guy. He ran off with the money, and he just sit there looking stupid. Like when you try to invest in somebody else's vision and they're successful getting the money, they can just run off with the money. And I think Tariq Nasheed ran off with the money. I think he's just a pimp preacher. He's not going to build anything. You know, he's just putting out pimp videos talking about mink slide, a bunch of pimps in suits and minks. Or putting out poverty pimp videos talking about white supremacy and hidden colors and hidden history and whatnot. Like you benefit off of the ignorance and the plight. But it would be good if you was actually genuine with it. But if you just keep running the game and getting money and just going on expensive, lavish vacations and driving Bentleys, we just gonna see you just as a pimp preacher, you know? That's about it.
So welcome to another edition of Moorish World TV, family. That is one of the donors of the Tariq Nasheed project, and back then he was sold on the idea that they are going to acquire this land and that they're going to build this extravagant museum. And so tonight's show is directed towards our FBA, Foundational Black American Brethrens and Sisters. Is that how you say it? It's dedicated to them because, family, do you remember, I'm just going to talk with you tonight just a little bit. Do you remember that the creation of FBA was predicated upon reparations? Press a 7 if you remember that. The foundation of Foundational Black American was all about reparations. Family, what happened to the reparations talk? This is how you know when something is an agenda. You follow me? This is how we know that something is an agenda. Because the foundation of what was established, it claimed that they're fighting for reparations, and the defendant even created the criteria to obtain reparations. He said that in order to get reparations, you have to trace yourself back to a certain time period. In order to get reparations, you have to trace yourself back to the 17 something census or something like that. But one of the problems that I've always had with this argument is that Mr. Nasheed never traced himself back. Or he said the 1870 census. Yeah, I forgot now. It all is bogus, so it don't even make sense, Crip. It's all bogus. I may chop it up. Y'all can fix it up in the chat, and I'll bring it back just like Crip said, the 1870 census. So I thought it said 1700, but it's the 1870 census. You follow what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, where is the fight for the reparations and foundational Black Americans? Why isn't the foundational Black Americans stepping up to the plate and say, what happened to our reparations? Remember, he had everybody riled up about we need tangibles. We need tangibles. We are getting our tangibles, or we not voting. The first campaign was we're going to sit on the couch and we're not voting. And we're not voting. We're going to sit on the couch and we're not voting. The second argument was we're not voting Democrat. We're going to put our votes behind the Republican candidate, Trump. because we want our tangibles. Now, we know that Trump never presented any conversation about any tangibles for anybody. So now the FBAs, the foundational Black Americans, where are you today? See, the difference is with me and them, I'm consistent in what I stand on. Therefore, when the time goes down and the time rolls on, you're going to have to show what you produced with your foundational ideology. Where is the foundational Black Americans? Where, family, why don't you see anybody asking for tangibles anymore? Anybody? Did y'all see anybody on the internet asking about tangibles anymore? Anybody? What's the other one? What's the other one? ADOS? What's going on with this? What's going on with this? Have they given up, or they just got their little, it reminds me of how these little cults, they seem to gain great momentum before people realize that they're a cult. And then when people realize that it's a cult, it dwindled down to the faithful few. And then the faithful few continue to say, we just gonna keep this to ourselves. Because they know when they come out to the public, they gonna get their head taken off when they start talking that crazy rhetoric. But my thing is, one of the things that's really crazy about all of this when you really look into it is how the FBA was sold to go to the polls for Trump. And when you look at what's going on today, I'm not saying Kamala would have did any different. Kamala probably would have just covered up some of the nonsense that she wanted to bring. I'm going to tell you off the break, you know what I mean? That Kamala probably would have just covered it up, and I don't think she would have went this extreme. I got to say, I don't think there's a human being on the planet Earth that would have went this extreme. You know what I'm saying? Every few months, he got a tariff jumping off, and then he backpedal. Hold up. Let me reconsider this. Come on now. So now I don't think the Democrats would have went down that path. But I think that whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans, I think their agenda is the same. You know what I mean? I think their agenda is the same. I think the goal is the same, but I think the way that they're trying to get there may differ. You know what I'm saying? So even when the Democrats if they're in office, I believe that they want to make America great again. In other words, they want to make sure that the European constituents or the elite is in power. You know what I'm saying? And when you get into the quote unquote the black elite, they're just controlled by the quote unquote white elite. So it doesn't matter when we say the elite want to maintain power, but the elite, it doesn't matter. It goes across racial lines, because at the end of the day, the elite of the elite is going to control the elite of every other racial category. It is what it is. And so that's what I think is going on, whether it's the Republican or the Democrats. Now, Trump is one of them type of Democrats that say we just going to go hard. I mean, you're going to accept it or reject it. Now, one thing that I want to point out with us as a people that we don't pay attention to, and I ain't going to say me. I need to learn a new way to say this, us as a people. One thing that those amongst us that are not as informed, I think that sounds better. The problem is those amongst us that is not as informed, that anything that sound good, feel good, you tickle their ear, they gonna run with it. Anything. And so, even when we look at like Elon Musk, right? And you look at him throwing this sign in the air so boldly. Now listen. I don't have a horse in a race when it comes to the Holocaust. I don't have a horse in the race when it comes to the Hitler phenomenon or atrocities or whatever they choose to call it. I really don't have a horse in the race. I think it's a sad tragedy that any human being can reduce themselves to a monster and just look at bloodshed all day. I think that's insanity. That one can be tricked and fooled to commit the acts in the name of saving whatever fictitious idea that's been sold to you. But that is a testament that how FBA is bamboozled. Because if you can get a whole nation of people to slaughter another whole nation of people, hey, getting somebody to pay for a storefront liquor store, calling it a museum, that's nothing. I mean, think about it. Think about it. If you can get a whole nation of people, you can get the army, you can get the citizens, you can get the aliens and everybody in that nation that believe that they're full-blooded white people to attack another group of people at the level that we see the European Jews, which they brothers and sisters, the European Jews suffered. If you can do that, man, getting somebody to buy you a Bentley probably ain't that hard, I would imagine. You know what I'm saying? But my point that I want to make with that is when the FBAs was rallying behind President Trump during the past election, and right after the election, Elon Musk throws up the salute right there, no one really speaks on that. No one really speaks on the FBAs. No one really speaks on the things that was done post-election that could be detrimental to FBAs. Anybody ever notice that? Like, anybody ever did a research on the history of Elon Musk? Anybody? I mean, like, I was just grabbing, I know the history, but I did a brief today, right, just to show this, right? 1942, John Vorster, later prime minister, stands up and gives speech and talks about the system that their kind of ideology belief system, which was Christian nationalism. Let me stop right there, family. Let me stop right there. Christian nationalism is speaking to European Christian ideals. So when you see melanated people say, I like the fact that they ain't gonna let the gays do this and act the gays, that's not about you. I mean, hey, I'm the type of person, hey, do what you want to do. That's your business. Ain't my business. I ain't tripping. And I think we should be teaching our own children. So I ain't really tripping. At this stage of my life, I'm not really tripping that you're gonna have too much access to my children anyway. So I'm not tripping. Do your thing. We live in a crazy world. Why would I give you access to my children? Anyway, nevertheless, but you got our people. Yeah, we got our people that says, yeah, ain't no more gay marriages, ain't no more gays in the military, ain't no more. Like, most of y'all ain't even going to the military. Most of y'all making these arguments have never even signed up for the military. Most of y'all making these arguments, it doesn't even make sense. I mean, and just like Christopher said, ninjas buying Teslas. Absolutely. They steady buying Teslas. Steady. Although the stock in Tesla is going down, they can't wait to get one. I heard a rapper brother, talking about Tesla like it was a he called it a space age technology. And you know how many people want to be out in outer space. If I did my podcast about spaceships and aliens, you know the numbers be through the roof. You know what I mean? But anyway, Christian nationalism, and he says Christian nationalism in South Africa is the same as Nazism in Germany. Family, this is what Elon Musk's family was pushing in South Africa. They were pushing Christian nationalism in South Africa, which in this report it says that it's equivalent to what was going on in Germany. And you got FBAs pushing for a guy that has made Elon Musk his buddy. My buddy? Now, the unique thing about FBA, though, that they didn't pay attention to is that they was doing these things in South Africa that you would not think that it would go on. Like in the 80s, America had moved to another level of hiding their disrespect and hiding their neglect. They just threw some crack in the corner. They just threw some crack in the corner of LA and say, okay, kill yourself. The United States was on a whole nother level. They wasn't actually doing, in the 80s, apartheid was still being discussed of how to dissolve it. In the United States, they just threw a bag of crack in the neighborhood. So you already know if a Elon Musk is coming up in that type of, with that type of mentality, even in Canada, with that type of mentality. Come on, man. You know what he bringing to the table. You know what he bringing to the table. But my problem is that the FBAs never even question it. Never even question it. Who is the FBAs today? Who is the FBAs today? Where they at? Where is Jamal? Where Lord Jamal at? Is he still screaming FBA? I think he slowed down on that one. I went to Lord Jamal page the other day. He had a bunch of memes on that demonstration. I guess he said, listen, I'm going to leave this thing alone. I think he's leaving it alone now. Hey, if you know like I know, you better leave it alone because the FBA ain't about nothing. It's all a hustle. It's all a hustle, and it's been a hustle. Yeah, he's not FBA. We know he's not FBA, but FBA is not FBA. John's son said Jamal not FBA. His family is from Guyana. Yeah, but FBA is not FBA. They just made it. They just roll with it. They just roll with it because Tariq Nasheed said it. That's it. They not FBA. They don't even like. Come on now. What is it for real? You know what I mean? That's the crazy thing when Tariq got mad at me and did all that he did to try to destroy my life. He tried to destroy my life. You know what I'm talking about? And at the end of the day, how long? Like, the thing is about this hustle thing on the internet, right? That these hustlers, normally, when they expose, they just create another hustle. They don't attack people, swing on people, lie on people, and like they just start another hustle. Okay, you got me. Well, they go quiet for a little while, and then they just start another hustle. But not this guy. This guy went on a whole campaign. And then he continued to push people towards this Christian nationalism. When you talk about Trump. So I'm just asking today is, where are the FBAs at? Where are they? Anybody seen any FBAs lately? Family, please tell me. Can somebody email some FBAs and we can get them back on the show so they can give us some updates? What's going on with the Hidden History Museum? Anything going on with the Hidden History Museum? When the last time there was an event? There was that little event with the Watusi, Are You Tuesday event in December. It wasn't about 3 people there. You put up a video, it got 45,000 views. But you open up the little liquor store, it's like 3 people. Good goodness gracious. Come on, FBA. We got to do better. We got to do better, FBA. We got to do better. Where you at? I mean, why they let people play them like that, man? Look, this is Elon Musk's granddad right here. This is granddad. Musk's grandfather, Joshua Haldeman, he immigrates to South Africa in 1950, and that's really when apartheid has just started to kick in. The 1950s are when most the first laws. South Africa had discriminatory laws before, but you see the specific apartheid laws, which are more and more aggressive, and in many ways reminiscent of the Nazi Nuremberg laws against Jews in 1930. They have very similar echoes in stripping, quote unquote, black people from their rights to work in certain places, their movements, controlling them, confining them to areas. You already had a situation which has now, come to before, for because of recent events with Trump. These are the people that Elon Musk is descended from. In fact, he grew up with this philosophy. So why would a FBA descendant of slaves think that this would be an appropriate pick? I'm not saying that the Democrat is an appropriate pick. You already know my position. But I'm just saying, is any FBA going to be accountable and say, man, we follow this guy straight down a rabbit hole? Is it any? It's like those who call themselves FBA, they forget that they was pushing this agenda. It's like they forget that they was pushing this agenda. And they have no, and somebody say shameful, they have no shame. But anyway, my show tonight is about the tangibles. Are there any tangibles? Are anybody talking about tangibles anymore? Is there any tangibles anymore? That's what I'm looking forward to. Where are the tangibles that these FBAs was talking about? That's what I'm looking forward to. We need we need to know about these tangibles, family. So you do know that right now that there is a hiding of it's a new hiding movie coming out. Y'all know that, right? Y'all do know like that. You know what I mean? Hiding Colors #6. Hiding Colors #6 is coming out. Y'all do know that, right? And the thing is about who is going to buy Hiding Colors #6? Who's going to buy that? The Making of FBA Slaves, that should be the name of it. Who is going to, what FBA in their right mind would buy Hiding Colors #6? What person in their right mind would sit down and watch or pay it to watch a documentary when you can go on YouTube and watch all the documentaries that anybody could ever put together besides the one about Marcus Sanders? Nobody knows Marcus Sanders. You can't even say nothing in Hiding Colors #6. There's nothing you can say. You can't even make up stuff. Because the people should be on to you. The only documentary that people should be waiting on is the Marcus Sanders documentary. That's it. It's the only thing they should be waiting on. That's all they should be waiting on. Because Hiding Colors, they ain't got nothing else to say. Thank you, Black Warrior. Black Warrior say, keep doing what you do, brother. Appreciate you, Black Warrior. That's what I don't understand. Why people follow Trump, look and see who his parents. Yep, his parents was Trump parents was the same way. Maybe I do a presentation like that. I mean, maybe I could do a presentation like that and compare Trump and Elon Musk's parents so we can see their upbringing. Because the first thing that people say when you mention Trump upbringing, they'll say, oh, that was his father. That's not him. Look at Trump. Trump had many of friends that was, quote unquote, black. That's what they say real fast. But in business, don't nobody care about race or creed when you can make money for the cause of being in business. Like nobody care about that. It's just like saying, well, I don't believe that the slaveholder took the woman's innocence because they were racist. Nah, they don't care. They don't care. They gonna do what they do. Let me see if I can find. Hold up. Let me see something real quick. I want to see something real quick. I haven't looked this up in a minute. Let me see something. Let me see something. Oh, no, that ain't that. Yeah. But, yeah, I wanted to look up and see if I find. Show the picture of Trump and Jackson. Show the picture of Trump and Jackson. Wow, what's with the picture with Trump and Jackson? Yeah, I'm gonna put that show together. I'm gonna try to put that show together for tomorrow. Elon Musk and Trump parents. I'm gonna put that show together for tomorrow. I think I got time. Yeah. Can you pull up the parents? Can you pull up his parents? Who parents you want me to pull up? Who parents are Thurman Smart? Anything for you, my friend. Who parents you want me to pull up? Hold up. Who parents you want me to pull up? Yeah, we could do a comparison tomorrow. I think that'd be nice to do a comparison. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that'd be nice to do a comparison. You know what I mean? Let me show you real quick. I'll show you Elon Musk's mother. Let me show you this real quick. So listen, I do have the whole family tree. I'm thinking about putting the show, but I didn't know if y'all would appreciate something like that. You know what I mean? I didn't know if you would appreciate something like that. If you appreciate something like that, I definitely put it together because I appreciate stuff like this. Like many of the things that I appreciate, I be wondering if y'all will appreciate, but I do appreciate going into the background and looking at people. He said Trump upbringing. Then looking at the people where they come from, because where people come from is going to dictate their mentality in a large way. You know what I mean? In a large way. So let me see. Okay. So we gonna do both. We gonna do Elon Musk and Trump. All right. We're going to do Elon Musk and Trump tomorrow. I think that'll be a good show. If y'all can appreciate research like that, then I think I'll give it to you. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, I was talking to Moochie today, and I said, Moochie, man, it looks pretty bad out here for these grifters. I said, listen, there's not a lot of grifters out here doing what they was doing when we first started this, Moochie. I said, at the end of the day, here's Trump parents. At the end of the day, I said we got to really consider how we bring information now, because the grifters have went into the shadows. They're running. Have you noticed that the grifters don't even like they're so scared. They're scared to even use names. Remember, they used to use names to intimidate people. They will call people names so they don't get called out. They're scared to be sued now. You know what I mean? The grifters don't want to go to court, because when you go to court, it's going to open up a can of worms. You see what I'm saying? So now you don't hear a lot of people playing that old calling name games. You remember Tariq Nasheed kept something going on about Roland Martin. Roland Martin owes me a check. Somebody tell Roland Martin to send me a check, because he owed me a check. Because before me, you were the topic of discussion and jokes at least 4 times out of the month. On Tariq Nasheed. You owe me a check. Michi X, I love you, sis, but you owe me a check. Because before me, Michi X, anybody know Michi X? Please tell her, send it to the Cash App. Thank you in advance. You owe me a check. Because before me, Michi X, you was being triggered by Tariq Nasheed with his little silly cartoons. You was being triggered by his Michi snack cookies. You was being triggered by him faking like you talk like you in the 70s when we knew that it was him that talked like that in the 70s. It wasn't you, Meechie X. It wasn't you. But he faked like it was. But since me, Meechie X, he don't make too many things about you no more. Family, press 7 if you understand what I'm saying. I think I'm on to something. I think they owe me something, family. They owe me something. Help with this legal fee. I think I'm on to something. Listen, who else? Tommy Sotomayor? What's his name? Papa, Pan-African Express? They don't talk about them no more. Tone, they don't talk about them no more. Before me, he had everybody name in their mouth. He don't do that no more. Scared. So I think they need to send me a check, family. Hey, anybody know how to get in touch with our brothers and sisters? Please tell them to make them realize that they are able to focus on their craft without the fly at the picnic. Because Tariq Nasheed was the bug at the picnic trying to get in the potato salad. You know what I mean? I'm not a Roland Martin fan, but I am one who respects a person regardless if I agree with them or not. You know what I mean? So Roland Martin is a professional, certified reporter, anchorman, or whatever you want to call it. And every time he reporting on something, whether I agree with it or not, here come the fly trying to get in the tater salad. Zzz, zzz. Here come the fly, Tariq Nasheed, trying to get in the tater salad. He Roland Martin up there doing his little Greek dance. You know he like them Greek dance because he in fraternity. He doing them old Greek dances. I mean, belly all over the place. He doing his thing. Shout out to Roland Martin. I'm just playing Roland. But you be doing that old dance. You put on your little African set, you know what I mean, and you start doing your dance. Roland Martin, you ain't got air bit of rhythm either. But I see you, brother. I see you, my man. I mean, and then now, here comes Tariq, the fly trying to get in the tater salad. Zzz. Oh, my good. Get away, man. Let me do my dance. I'm trying to tell you. And then Tahaka Bay shut it all down. That's right. Here go Meechie X with her filthy foul mouth. Oh, you mother. And here come Tariq, the fly trying to get in the tater salad. Zzz. Now you can't do your cussing rendition. You got to give him attention. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm trying to tell you. So at the end of the day, y'all owe me. Let me say this. If you believe that Brandon rattled Tariq, you're wrong. Brandon and Tariq is on the same team. They're on the same team. Never believe controlled opposition. Brandon never was against Tariq. Tariq was disturbed by Brandon that he sued him. He didn't sue Brandon. He tried to get a protective order against Brandon. It was fugazi at best because in the protective order, he says that Brandon, can still say anything he want about him, but he doesn't want him around his business. That was fugazi. When he went to get a protective order or a peace order against me, he flew from California to Baltimore and asked them not to let me make videos and covering from a news perspective, reporter's perspective, or any perspective about anything related to him. Yeah. And then on top of that, he lied and told the judge that I violated it and I should go to jail. That's different. Before Brandon, everyone else backed down. Brandon is not the opposition of Tariq Nasheed. Brandon works with Tariq Nasheed for all intentions and purposes. There is no evidence that stuff is real. No evidence. In fact, there's evidence that it was a horse and pony show. There. Let me see something. See if I can find it real quick. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I got the whole case. I got the whole case. It's a horse and pony show. Now. Yeah, it's a horse and pony show. So I mean, let me see if I can find it real quick. Yeah, Brandon is not a Pan-Africanist. Brandon is no different. Brandon is no different than anybody else that jumps out of the blue and start acting like they're beefing with somebody with no really true reason to be beefing. So let me break this down for you. I think this is a good thing to touch on, other crazy critters. You say you definitely don't believe Brandon is a Pan-African. So if he's not a Pan-African, what would be his, if you believe, listen, if you believe that Brandon is not a Pan-Africanist, then what would be his true gripe with Tariq Nasheed? There is no true gripe. Because in your heart, if you're not a Pan-Africanist, you wouldn't have a true gripe. Your gripe would be manufactured, in other words. You right? You feel me? If he's a Pan-Africanist, then he's playing Pan-Africanist. He's playing Pan-Africanist so they can manufacture a beef. He's only playing Pan-Africanist because the Pan-African piece establishes the beef. But you just said you don't think he's a Pan-Africanist. You just said you don't think he's a Pan-Africanist. So because he's not a Pan-Africanist, there's no beef. So it's all set up. Other crazy critters, are you Brandon? Are you possibly Brandon? Because y'all with me on this one, family. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying. Press 7 if you understand what I'm saying. If you come to the realization that Brandon is not a Pan-Africanist, if he's not a Pan-Africanist, then the beef is manufactured. It's not real. You know what I'm saying? So we got to pay attention to these. We got to pay attention, man. Listen. It's just like the guy that had the channel called The Piano Keyboardist. You follow me? The guy that had the piano guy that was uncovering a lot of stuff about Tariq Nasheed, and then he automatically just disappeared, and then he pop up every now and then. The piano keyboard guy. He also gives. Anybody familiar with the piano keyboard guy? Piano keyboard guy? I forget his name. And he was one of the first one to reveal keyboard musician. There you go, Naps TV. Keyboard musician. He was one of the first one to reveal some things about Tariq Nasheed. And I'm going to tell you, as a researcher, I went back and looked at some of those things. Some of those things are legit, but some of those things are red herrings. And so I started to wonder if keyboard musician was one of controlled opposition accounts. Because again, some of the stuff was true, but some of the stuff was red herrings. And the stuff that was true was stuff that was available to anybody on the internet who had access to Tariq Nasheed, Twitter, or IG. It was no deep research there. There was no deep research that would say, aha, got it. Nah, it wasn't. It just wasn't. And some of the stuff seemed like it could be a setup move. Like you say something, the next thing you know, you be sitting up there in the courtroom looking at some slander stuff. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, but I think Keyboard Musician did a wonderful job. Don't get it twisted. Even though I think it was controlled opposition, let me say, I don't think. Possibly, it was controlled opposition. I'm going to say that. It said Mink Slide docked the keyboard musician. What does that mean? Mink Slide docked the keyboard musician. How do you dock a hidden account? And another thing about these accounts where people don't show their faces. You don't want to take them 100% serious either. Like if a person never show their face, but they're putting out information, man, you don't want to repeat that stuff. You want to look for it, look it up for yourself. You know what I mean? I was looking for the Brandon. I was looking for the Brandon case. I wanted to show. I guess I don't have it here, but I wanted to show that it was a fake. It was a fake beef. Anybody notice? If y'all don't, here we go. Praise the Lord for that. Here we go. Here's the fake beef. Mr. Nasheed does not request an order prohibiting Mr. Tucker from engaging in any particular form of speech with respect to Mr. Nasheed, including the type of speech being complained in his restraining order request. Family, are you with me? Who puts a restraining order on someone? Now, let's say if he didn't try to put one on me, then I would say, okay, maybe. But the premise of his restraining order or peace order against me was to silence me. So this doesn't make sense. The nature of his peace order against me was to silence me. Yet, when you look at the same act that he put on Brandon, he said, nah, let them talk. By revealing who they are, that's what doxing. No, I'm saying, so keyboard musician is out of the bag. Nobody knows who he is to this day. I never found out who he was, but if you say so, okay. Send me the email. Let me see who he is. I don't think that's doxing though, because you hiding and you talking about somebody and they reveal you. That's like, man, that's who talking about me. But anyway, listen to this. It says, Mr. Nasheed does not request an order mentioning or prohibiting Mr. Tucker from making a statement on any subject or any content as long as he does so at a distance. He put that in there. Family, let's think of the mentality. What person says, I'm going to file a restraining order, but I'm going to put a clause in this restraining order that this person can say whatever he wants. In a restraining order, you don't have to put that. You just say, listen, I don't want you around me. I want this distance, and boom, file it. But he literally puts in there, come on, man. Make it make sense. Nobody does that. Can you imagine? Because restraining orders is usually used for domestic issues. Can you imagine a woman go and put in a restraining order? And she says, I just want him not to come to my house. I don't want him at my job. I don't want to see him around me within 50 to 100 feet. And he can make videos about me. He can say whatever he want about me. He can do pretty much what he's been doing on the internet about me, and that's fine. You know that don't make sense. Nobody comes out of their mind and say, let me make sure I say this. And then he said, and the statements, contents do not constitute illegal harassment within the meaning of Section 5276. Mr. Nasheed does not request an order prohibiting Mr. Come on, man. Who does that? I'm telling you that Brandon is controlled opposition. He always was and always will be. He's controlled opposition. It is what it is. You follow me? It is what it is. Look here. Mr. Tucker from contacting anyone regarding Mr. Nasheed or posting derogatory criticism of Mr. Nasheed. Hold on, let me bring the other one back up because this is the second half to the first half. This is why this is critical thinking. The last, it says, Mr. Nasheed does not request an order prohibiting Mr. Tucker. Here we go. Mr. Tucker from contacting. Hold up. He got does not underlined. Mr. Nasheed does not request an order prohibiting Mr. Tucker from contacting anyone regarding Mr. Nasheed or from posting derogatory criticism of Mr. Nasheed. Family, please make that make sense. So you still believe that Brandon had a beef with Tariq Nasheed? That don't make no sense, man. Come on, man. That don't make no. That's using the court for sensationalism. That's using the courts for sensationalism. That's controlled opposition and going to the extent of filing something in the court for the sensationalism and for the effect. Brandon ain't never been no opposition to Tariq Nasheed. Come on now. And like I say, he's not even a Pan-Africanist. Now, so anyway, family. Well, it's 12 o'clock on the East Coast. That's my time. I just wanted to drop in and holler at you for a minute. Anybody got any show ideas? I want you to email me at mwtvupdates at gmail.com. mwtvupdates. Somebody put that in there. nwtvupdates at gmail.com. And I will cover some of these subject matters. I got a few new subject matters coming up. I'm going to be rearranging my set so I can get into a new vibration this spring. And so tomorrow you come in, I might have a new set tomorrow. I kind of keep my set fresh. You know what I mean? So spring is coming. Spring is coming. And so Gregory Bryant, where my bro at? Tell your bro I say what up. So yeah, I'm gonna bring all new stuff. I'm gonna try my best to start the show at between 9 and 10. People say they wanted 10, so I'm gonna do my best to start at 10 and be done by 11:30 East Coast time. So I can stay on because I gotta work. I got a lot of work to do. I got a lot of bills to keep up with this legal matters. We got things going on the ground. So in the Morris Science Tip of America. So I'm gonna try to keep my schedule, fam. I'm trying to keep my schedule. I'm gonna be making my shows at lunchtime. You know what I mean? There you go. There you go, my brother, Anthony Bryan. So listen, I'm trying to get the Patreon, and those who wish to be on the Patreon, let me know. I'll be going live on the Patreon probably on Wednesday or Thursday. I'll be going live on the Patreon. I got you, Manning Bay. I'm gonna call you. I'll text you tonight. But yeah, so family, I just got a lot of work that I'm going on, trying to stay above float right now. Trying to stay above float. I didn't put a lot of finances out. Thank you for all your support, for helping me in the way that you have helped me. I'm kind of to the point now that I'm like, man, I don't even want to come to the people. I'm going to just try to grind as best I can. But when you get up into the thousands and thousands of dollars trying to keep up with stuff, hey, I might have to call on you. I'm telling you now, I might have. If I call on you, will you answer? Name, but we gonna do the shut the door. We gonna do like Marvin Sapp did. Shut the door. Usher, shut the door. Everybody, you got $1,000. Shut the door. Anybody see Mom? Shut the door. Don't let nobody go. Don't let nobody go. Let me see if I can find it. Anybody see that? Everybody see that? Yeah. That's right. Shut the door. That's right. He hold the church member hostage. Anybody hear about that? Let's see if I can find that demonstration. Let's find that. That's my man. Shut the door. Nobody playing with y'all. Y'all gonna leave up out here. Shut
and they understand the cost.
Okay, hold on. Let me get it. Let me get it.
There's 1,000 of you. They understand, and they understand.
Hold on, fellas. Don't go nowhere. This is what y'all need to do for the Grand Sheik. I don't care what you say. Call me Grift, whatever you want. I got you tonight. There. Let me see. Let me see if I can find this demonstration. That's right. Let me see. Where you at? There you go. Hold on. There you go. Where you at? There you go. Hold on. This is what I need y'all to do. Don't play with me. That's right. You got to pay the cost around here. Y'all want to watch Morris World TV, do you pay the cost? Let me get him. Let me turn him around this way so you can see him. I'll turn it back so y'all can read it. Let me see what I got here. This is my man here. Y'all keep playing with these people, man.
Understand the cost that is involved. There's 1,000 of you. I said close them doors. Ushers, close the doors.
Close the doors.
Close the doors. Close the doors.
Close the doors.
It's 1,000 that's watching online.
That's right.
This is a small seed. If I get 1,000 online to give this, if I get 1,000 in the sanctuary to give this, that's $40,000.
That's what it is.
Now, everyone up here, we've all sold and seeded, but I need everyone standing up here with us, with me, to plant a seed of $100.
Plant a seed,
because
family.
again, it costs to sit up here.
It costs.
This is what I need you to do. If you're giving electronically, or even if you're giving tangibly,
it costs.
I'm gonna have y'all come to the altar and give it, because I need to see 1,000.
I need to see it.
Bring them baskets. I want the baskets up here. I want to see the folk.
That's right.
Y'all
Come
start
on.
moving.
Come on, start
Y'all
moving.
bring it right now. Come.
Start moving, Rockman.
1,000 people need to give $20. 1,000 people need to give
Crip,
$20.
you ain't have to do that, Crip. Crip said, can I get an amen? Crip, no. Hey, Crip, come on, Crip. Thank you, Crip. Hey, Crip.
Phil, you have been one of the biggest jury consultants ever. What kind of a jury?
Hey, Crip, I appreciate you. I was joking. Anybody that hit the Cash App, I really appreciate you. Anybody that just do what Crip just did, I really appreciate you. But I really was just making fun at this time, because I'm the type of person that when I need to fall on you, I'll let you know. But if you feel that you want to support, then just let it flow. Usher, shut the door. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That's right. That's gonna be the new drop, Thurman Smart. Let me thank all my people, man. Thurman Smart, M. Nugent, Starlight, Cryptonomics, Gregory, Demetrius, Rockman, my toxic. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. Yeah, I think I'm gonna start my show off with that, man. That's right. We ain't gonna hide grifting over here. We gonna say, man, listen, shut the door. I need you to bring the basket up here. So peace and love, family. Thank you for joining me. I am going to play my intro drop from earlier. So enjoy, and yes, we're going to be doing this on a whole nother level. You follow me? On a whole nother level.
I was one of the people who invested in this man's vision for an institution in Los Angeles called Hidden History Museum. I was one of the people who believed that was a good idea. and I still think it's a good idea. And I invested a nice amount of money, not just $50 or $100. I invested more than that, but I haven't gotten any updates. You know, when I went to Indiegogo, he has my email address. He has everybody's email address who donated. This was months ago, last year, in the middle of last year, probably later than that or earlier than that. And I haven't received any updates about the status or the progress in acquiring this land and building this museum. And I look at this guy every Sunday. He does a live stream in which he collects donations.
To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. LA. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. Be more. I be that more you gon' remember. Nap Town. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my number. I be that more you gon' remember. LA. I be that more you gon' remember. New York. I be that more you gon' remember. To Hawker Bay front line till the law call my